Greetings, Eric's UK here, and I am a Wargamer. So this is a thing that's going around at the minute. I think it's been going for a little while. And it's a couple of things. It's one, how did you get into wargaming? Why, sort of thing. And the other top question is, what advice would you give to new content creators on YouTube? And then you tag a couple of people you think might be interested in doing a vid. I got into wargaming because of role-playing games. I'd always wanted to be a role player. I always wanted to play D&D. But it wasn't until I met my friend Chris at school, and he was at the time quite interested in Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay by Games Workshop. So that's what we played. And through that, I started collecting White Dwarf magazine, back when it was actually a games magazine rather than just a catalogue. And in 1987, they started to promote their new game, Rogue Trader, Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, aka First Edition. And I fell in love with the fluff for it immediately. I absolutely loved it. And it really grabbed me, especially, I'm afraid I'm a fan of Space Marines. I love them. And we went to Games Day, 1987, at the Royal Horticultural Society, I think it was. Somewhere here, I still actually have the little pamphlet flyer booklet that they gave us when we walked through the door, which is one of my little prized possessions. And someone out there is trimming their garden. Hope you guys can't hear that too loudly. And I picked up the rulebook, and I picked up the plastic beaky Space Marines and the original metal Space Orc box set. And I believe Chris bought a load of Eldar stuff. So we probably in the next 3 years only played probably less than a dozen games. But I was more interested in the fluff anyway. I read everything that came through White Dwarf and what have you. When he went off to university, I went back to role-playing games. Thankfully skipping the entirety of 40k second edition, because quite frankly it was awful. Came back towards the end of third edition, but it wasn't until halfway through fourth edition's run that our local game store said, hey, if I start stocking Games Workshop products, are people going to buy them? And there was a sudden interest. Oh yes, we'd be interested. So I said, well, if people are interested, I'll run a club. We'll do leagues, tournaments, whatever. And it's grown from there. And the club has it's changed places. And again, that shop has closed. But we're still running the same club now. And with the recent release of 9th edition 40k, I am looking forward to seeing, if the coronavirus ever lets us, where we go with this new edition. But I'm not a painter. I like building the models and I like playing, but painting is not my strong point. I don't overly enjoy it. I just go for a tabletop quality. But for me, it's the same as role-playing games. I like the immersion in the setting. That's what gets me. That's what brings me. It's probably why I don't really get on with the idea of historical wargaming. The only other war games that I play are I like a little game called Gaslands. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's really cool. Mad Max Death Race 2000 styly, with little Hot Wheels Matchbox cars that you paint and mod up. And I'm starting to get into a Warhammer continuing type thing called the Ninth Age, which I haven't had a chance to actually play it yet because of the coronavirus, but that looks to me to be an awesome continuation of the old Warhammer Fantasy. Fan-made game, uses the same sort of armies but twisted to their own world, and a much more balanced rule set. So the second question is, what would I recommend to new YouTube content creators looking to start up their channel? One, I would say be consistent. Make sure you put out content. There's no point you doing a vid here and then waiting a month to do another one. You want to be putting out at least one, maybe two a week. Even if you're just asking questions to the community, and they can sort of like reply back and so forth. Put out content that people are interested in watching. Battle reports are always good, but only if you can, in my mind, if you can video them, and they're not overly long. I've seen too many battle reports where people just take photos of the game in progress and just talk over the photos, and that's not interesting. If you've got the means to do painting and you're good at painting, then do something like that. There's plenty of ideas you can put out, but you need to be consistent and you need to have a range, I think, of topics that you can talk about and discuss. And then lastly, you're supposed to nominate a couple of people who might want to do this video as well. There are 2 people that I'm going to throw out here. If they want to. I don't know whether they'll watch this, but you know. One is my friend Rich over at SprayBlack Studios, who also runs, when they can do it, OPTV, which is one of the best new 40k battle report channels. And my other friend I'm going to nominate is Mark Crew, who does a variety of sort of like, I think, lesser war games. Both really good guys, and I think their insights might be cool. Anyway, thanks for watching, and take care, guys, and good gaming.